All right, what's going on, my You Got to Be Lions fans? Good to see y'all again. Let's go over this first. I need you to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and let us know where you're rooting for your Detroit Lions, what city, what state, down in the comments. And of course, you need to share and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the videos that we're doing. We're trying to grow this YouTube channel, and we need your help. Share, share, share. Let's get into this. The NFL knew what they were doing when they scheduled the Detroit Lions and the Rams in this Sunday night game, prime time game. Oh man, it was epic. All right, nail biter, great game from beginning to end. Um, where do I start? You know what? Let's start here. This is CBS Sports. This is what they said about the game. A little game recap. The Lions' grit can't be overstated. It sounds cliche, it really does. Ever since Dan Campbell's arrival, everyone and their brother cites Detroit's toughness as a driving force of the team. But resilience was reality for the team on Sunday night. Jared Goff wasn't perfect. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't have a major splash. The defense had second half hiccups, and yet the end result was the same as it was in January when these two teams met on an even bigger stage. Why? They never quit. You could see it in the way Sewell paved lanes or the way David Montgomery trucked through one defender after another in overtime, or the way Carlton Davis laid out to get in front of multiple Matthew Stafford passes late. This is a team built to survive even tight ball games. Again, this was a nail biter. If you watch the game, the first half, at the beginning, they were kind of filling each other out. And it seemed like Detroit was going to kind of dominate. And their strategy was a little different. You know, Detroit is not known for, rushing, but they kind of came out there, kind of did the Russian game, um, and kind of took control the first half. But again, these teams do not quit. Of course, the second half, Stafford Cup kind of took over. And so momentum changed. So it got to be a Rams second half. And of course, the Rams caught up and took the lead. And again, like I said, these two teams never quit. Come back, Jared Goff. Lions marched down the field and eventually tied it up to take it into overtime with just seconds left. And it eventually went down to just the toss of the coin. Of course, the Lions won the toss, um, chose to receive the ball, and just drove it down the Rams' throat, ran it. That running game came out. A lot of credit to Dave Montgomery. He was a beast. He was a beast. Now, you're going to look at a lot of people now. Of course, they're going to talk about the stats and go over the game and tell you quarter by quarter and when this momentum changed in this game. I want to do something a little different because this is something I always wanted to talk about. Now, I was kind of a critic, staff you critic. Um, I just didn't think he was the quarterback to get the Lions there. Of course, my brother Todd and my cousin Bernard, they always said this is the superstar quarterback. He's gonna get us there. But if you looked at the win loss record, it just didn't seem like it was gonna happen. Of course, you know I'll talk to Todd and talk to Bernard, and they always say, well, they just don't have the team. He doesn't have the team. He needs more help. Okay, so let's look at this. Let me go. Where do I want to go? I want to go to let's go to this. Hopefully, you guys can see this. This is from Warren Sharp. You know what? Let, let me go here. I don't want to go there yet. Let's go here. Let's look at this. Let's start looking at the head to head. Stafford against Jared Goff since that trade. Now, head to head, in 3 games, Jared has squeaked out 2 wins since that trade. Now, in the playoffs, of course, Jared won. He's got 1 game advantage. And that was that wild card game last year where Detroit, hung in there. Of course, they didn't quit. They won by 1 point. So now, if we look down here, as far as total games played, you see Stafford, of course, he's been in the league a lot longer. I think this might be his 16th year, where I think Jared, he's like in his 9th year. So Stafford has played many more games, right? Now let's go down to. I want to go to some averages since Stafford has played more games. Let's look at the pass yard averages. They're pretty even. 7.4 for Goff, 7.3 for Stafford. Now remember, the Rams were saying that Goff was not the person to take them to win the Super Bowl, because he did take the Super Bowl. He just didn't win. They said he's just not the person to take us over and win it. But I want you to start looking at some of this stuff. Let's go down to, of course, passing yards per game. Not that far off. Stafford 272.3 to Goff 259.7. Not that much of a difference. Of course, pass touchdowns, Stafford, a little higher because he's played more games. Let's look at interceptions. Goff 83, Stafford 181. He's played more games. But going to have more interceptions. Let's look at let's see, what else do I want to look at down here? You know what? Let's move on from there, because the other numbers are just going to matter because he's played more games. On the other thing here, rushing, the yards average per rushes, Stafford 1 more yard. Okay, it's quarterback. Um, but let's look at championships. You look here, Goff has 3 Pro Bowl selections, Stafford 2. But the championship, well, awards or not, the championship, of course, that 1 Super Bowl win. And that was right after the trade. I believe the trade was in 2021. So Stafford goes on and wins a Super Bowl with the Rams. Now, I always argue that I think Goff could have gotten a championship with the Rams. Of course, I have to fight with my brother Todd and Bernard about that, and that's what makes it so good. We watch the games together, and we have that little going back and forth, and that's what keeps us. Uh, that's what keeps it fun. Keeps it fun. Now let's go look at something else over here that I wanted to talk about. This is freaky right here. Let's go and look at. Let's see. This is what I wanted to get to. This is from Warren Sharp. Um, He says these Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford numbers since their trade, freaky. It really is freaky. Now, we know the games that they've played have been close, really close. Like they're just evenly matched teams. Won by 1 point in that Detroit won by 1 point in that wild card game last year, um, and then squeaked out an overtime win this year, the opening game of the season. But look at this. Since the 2021 trade, Goff 21 wins, Stafford 24. I'm sorry, 24, Stafford 24 wins. Goff 66% completion percentage. Stafford the same, 66. Excuse me. Goff 41 turnovers, Stafford 41 turnovers. Now remember, excuse me, all of this, it has been since the 2021 trade. Golf, 46% success rate. Stafford, 46% success rate. Golf, 78 pass touchdowns. Stafford, 75. Golf, 89 sacks taken. Stafford, 88. Golf, 35.2% first downs per attempt. Stafford, 35.2% first down per attempt. Exact same. This is weird. And they just traded teams. But one thing I want you to think about is one team was a Super Bowl contender. The other team was really struggling, really bad. As a matter of fact, if we look here, we know that when that trade was made, of course, the Rams were pretty much Super Bowl contender with Golf. But the Lions were coming off three straight losing seasons. Three straight. 3-12, 3-13, and 5-11. So Stafford went to a Super Bowl contender and won the Super Bowl. Golf came from a Super Bowl contender, went to a team that was at the bottom. And then in a few short years, took them to the NFC championship game. And I think should have won it, could have won it, but that doesn't matter. They didn't win. Let's see, anything else I got queued up here that I want to go over. I want to talk about this. I'm going to leave it over here, but let's talk about this. Now, Golf is a winner. So let's talk about their win-loss record. You can say whatever you want to say about Golf. He's just not the quarterback. He doesn't have the arm. He can't take you to that next level. But he was a winner and still is a winner. Out of 117 games played, he's won 66 games, 66, 50, and 1. He's won 50%, 56% of his games played. Let's talk about Stafford. Stafford has played 206 games. And out of those 206 games, he's won 98. 98, 107 loss, and one tie. 47% of the games he's won. Now, also remember this. When he was with the Lions, the only other professional team he's played with, at the time of the trade, he was 74, 90, and 1. He was not a winning quarterback. Now, the stats were off the chart. So that's one of my arguments. Now, I'm not putting Stafford down. But to me, he went to a championship team, won the Super Bowl. Golf came from a Super Bowl contender and took one of the worst teams in the league and took him to the end, one game short of the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of, I guess I'm just going to come say it, tired of people talking about Golf is just not the one. Look at his stats last year. He's done a great job. Look, Golf has played 9 years. I think this is his ninth year in the league. Stafford 16. Let's look at the age. Golf is 29. Stafford is 36. So Stafford is getting close to the end of his career. Great quarterback, but great stats. But it's still not a winning quarterback. Give him that Super Bowl. So if you try to argue with me about the better team, Stafford was just with a sorry team, Golf was with a better team, they swapped them out. And Golf has taken Detroit to a championship championship team. They won the NFC North last year. Um, so, like I said, during the time of that trade, Stafford's win-loss record was 74, 90, and 1. Goff's was 42 and 27. Stafford had only won 45% of his games. And now he's only up to 47%. Won a Super Bowl, but he's only up to 47%. Goff, when he left the Rams, was 61% win. 61. You guys think about that. That's just something I just wanted to touch on. This is going to be a great season. I feel really good about the Lions this year. I think this is the year we might be able to make it to the Super Bowl. Now, oh, that game had me on the edge of my seat, you know, uh, really biting my nails, but it was a great game from beginning to end. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Looking forward to talking to you more and having fun, going over these little things, talking to my brother and Bernard, getting on here, giving you some silly videos, and just the whole 9 yards. So let's get ready for the rest of the season. It's going to be on. Take care.
Hey, like and subscribe. You know you want to.